If you're ready to stop caring about other people's opinion, what they think, what they may say, you came to the right place. In this video, I'm not only gonna show you why we care so much, but what you can do about it to really stop caring, to be you, to live life on your terms, to show up in your life the way you want without having all that worry or that anxiety or those people-pleasing tendencies and so on. I'm gonna show you what the secret is. And this is something that impacts a lot of people. And I know because I used to struggle a lot with that. I used to be a people pleaser, a nice guy. I used to have all these things, all those worries and anxiety about what people will say, how they will see me. I will avoid showing any form of, weakness and things that were like bad kind of thing. Because what if people reject me? What if they don't like me? What if they don't love me? And what if they make fun of me, right? And I remember that back then people would just give me, well, you just gotta believe in yourself, right? You just gotta stop caring that. And this is like, yeah, great. Like if I could, I would do it. But how do I bridge the gap? And nobody had that answer. Eventually, I discovered that secret that I'm about to share with you. And since then, I've applied it in my life and I've applied it with a lot of my clients and it works. If you use it, if you apply it, if you live by it, it works and it will dramatically improve your life. So what's the secret? The secret lies in simply understanding the biggest need that we have as human beings. And this is the need to feel important, to feel loved, to feel special, to feel unique, to feel worthy, to feel good enough. And when you understand that this is the biggest need that we have, the biggest force shaping our life, our goals, our decisions, what we want, you understand why we then care so much about other people's opinion. If you don't believe me about this need, simply look at your life, look at social media. You will see so many examples of people doing so much to get some to get some subscribers. You will see why people buy expensive cars and bags that maybe they cannot afford simply to look a certain way. You will see why people queue up to buy the new iPhone simply to have it, simply to get that status, simply to get that image, that feeling. We live in a world that is shaped on this image that we create of ourselves, to have it right, to be liked, to be loved, to be special. And this is not good, bad, right, wrong. It's the way it is. But what's so important here is to understand that because we care so much about feeling important, we also fear the opposite a lot. And this is to lose face, to feel insignificant, to be worthless, to be laughed at, to feel belittled, to feel ashamed, humiliated. We hate that the most. And so we will do everything we can to avoid situations where we appear weak, where we lose face, where we are rejected, where we feel unloved. And so it's a delicate balance. On one hand, we seek so much that importance. On the other hand, we feel like we want to avoid all the threats that comes with the opposite. Now you can see why you care so much about people, because most of us have external strategy to receive importance, to people, appreciation, being liked, being seen in a certain way. So we are mostly living with people. We are social animals. And so we care because if somebody doesn't like us, somebody rejects us, somebody laughs at us, it hurts a lot. It creates that feeling of shame or humiliation. It creates that fear, it triggers that fears. So when your strategy for external appreciation and validation is external, it will magnify your fear by a lot, which will make you even more anxious, even more afraid, even more of a nice guy, even more of a people pleaser, seeking external validation, seeking to please everybody, morphing your way to fit and do everything right and to avoid confrontation and all these things. So you gotta understand that if your strategy to feel worthy is mostly external or fully external, this is where you get it wrong. This is the root cause of your challenge. It's because if you really want to break free from this fear, if you want to be more authentic, more confident, if you want to live life on your term, you got to reverse it and you got to find it in you and you got to give it to yourself first. You got to own it, that I am worthy, that I deserve these things, right? You got to own the thoughts and the feeling. You got to live in that state. Unfortunately, we have a lot of conditioning, a lot of experiences. A lot of us, ever since we're born, ever since we grow up, to the conditioning and the experiences we have, we've created all those rules, all those emotions, all those experiences, all those beliefs that holds us back and that led us to chase that external validation and that external pat on the back, and to just feel good enough to earning money and to working hard and to get those things and get the car and get the girl and get those things, right? We've been brainwashed that when you get those things, then you'll be good enough. But that's a trap, because as long as you don't feel worthy, good enough, significant, as long as you don't value yourself, as long as you let those crazy thoughts in your mind that judge you and that belittle you and that make you feel ashamed and weak and different and not good enough, as long as those thoughts rule your self-image, your fear will be off the freaking chart, and you will care and you will care and you will care, and it's going to affect your decisions, your perceptions, your attitude, your life. So how do you practically reverse that? You got to start listening to your thoughts. Any limiting thoughts about yourself, any negative thought about your self-image, your sense of self-worth, what you are not doing, and all that attack toward yourself, all these type of thoughts have to go. They cannot belong in your new self, in your new life, because if you are your own worst enemy, and if you are already so tough on yourself, no wonder you care so much about what other people might say. So you gotta start retraining yourself. You gotta start reconditioning your mind, and you gotta start seeing yourself. Your relationship with yourself has to change. You gotta really start making yourself feel worthy, feel good enough, feel like you deserve, like you are the person you want to be, living the life that you want. You gotta start giving yourself permission to not care so much. You gotta start accepting who you are, all these type of things. Because here's the thing, you don't chase what you have, you only chase what you feel like you're lacking. And this is so important. The moment you start to feel good enough, the moment you have it in you, you don't really chase it outside of you. Sure, it's nice, it's great when people compliment you, when people like you, when people are friendly to you. It's always gonna feel nice, but you're not dependent on it. You're not needy for it. You're not begging for it, so to speak. So the moment you have it, you don't seek it so much. The moment you have it, the moment you feel good about yourself, the moment you accept yourself, you don't care so much about what other people say. It might still feel unpleasant, it might still affect you a little bit, but it's not something that defines you. It's not something that gives you crazy worry and crazy anxiety. It's something you're willing to handle. It's something you're willing to simply overcome and do what you want to do. This is the secret to stop caring. This is really what it takes. It's about embodying that you're good enough. It's about loving yourself. It's about feeling worthy. And when you have that state, you will see that naturally who you are, how you think, how you show up will dramatically change. Not only that, but people will start treating you differently. And this is the most important, because life is a mirror. The moment you change your mind, the moment you change your relationship with yourself and you start treating yourself differently, life starts to treat you differently. And the key here is this: the more you chase something outside of you, the more you will lack it, the more it will escape you, and the more your fear will grow. So reflect on this. How are you gaining that feeling of importance, that sense of worthiness in your life right now? If it is mostly external, this is what you have to change. And so you gotta dismantle that, and you gotta start finding strategies and ways to do that. And if you wanna know how you can reprogram your mind and change your self-image, there's a lot of videos on this channel. You can also book a discovery call with me if you wanna break through this very fast. If you wanna work with me one-on-one, there's a link down in the description as well. I hope this video helps you, because this is the key. This is something that can completely transform your life. Let me know what you think down in the comment. As always, hit that subscribe button, and see you next time. Be well.